someone flex me a bad body. So, it's another one, yeah, it's a full strong, yeah. Oh, it's another one, yeah.
Good evening. Welcome to iBoxingHub. I go by the name of BNG, featuring yours truly, Trey. What's good?
Well, good, cuz I'm just excited. Boxing, got a lot to talk about, cuz you've done your research, and I'm just excited to talk boxing. But firstly, just wanted to say to the viewers, everyone who's listening or tuning into the show, thank you for your support. And massive shout out to Aisha. She obviously done her first show on our channel. So Green Diamond Boxing, guys, if you haven't seen her interview, check it out. And also massive shout out to tremendous work there. Absolutely love it. And also Rico and Rah, the RnR Hour is back. So we've waited for that for a long time. So guys, Boxing Roundup, Green Diamond Boxing, RnR Hour, we're looking to just keep doing these shows throughout the week. So 4 to 5 shows a week. This is the plan for you guys, and we're just excited.
Same here. Do you know, it's actually been a good year for boxing overall. I mean, pretty much every month we've had, boxing on. I mean, this month, we've got 2 events this month. Well, 2 big events. We've got the Cameron and Taylor rematch. On that day as well, on the 25th, I believe, you've got Benavides and Andrade.
Woo!
Yeah. And then in December, you've got Haney.
We got Progress, the champion, versus the Dream. So we just have to put some respect on the champion. For me, I don't like the way they've advertised it, because I'm going to say it. I don't like the way they've advertised it. So, look, it's going to be a tremendous fight. Sonny Edwards as well. Heyman as well. Massive shout out to you. You're always involved in the discussion. So we're just excited to talk boxing, of course. But
apparently there may be another event taking place on the 23rd of December. Well, it's not going to be Usyk and Fury. So no. All jokes aside, I've actually been told that there might be an event taking place. It might be in Saudi again. It might be what's his name? Fabio Wardley and Joseph Parker. That's what I've heard. I don't know how true that is.
Ooh, swear.
Well, that's what I've heard. I don't know how true that is. I mean, my understanding. What's his name? I forgot his name now. From Boxer.
Ben Shalom.
No, not Ben Shalom. He's part of 258 management team. He wants to fight Fabio Wardley.
Is that right?
No. They're not the same
weight. Yeah.
Heavyweight. Fraser Clark. He wants to fight.
Fraser Clark. Yeah. Come on.
So, so that's why I'm not too sure if it's true about Parker and Fabio Wardley. But overall, it's been a good year so far for boxing. Hopefully, again, we'll get to see the rematch of Spence and Crawford.
What do you think's going to happen? Do you think that fight's going to happen at 154, or is he going to fight Crawford at 147 for the belts again?
That's a good one, actually. So at 154, there's no title involved, right?
No.
And that's the weight that he believes that's his actual weight that he can fight in. At 147, it's for the belts, right? He could, if he wins, he could potentially become 2 times, worldweight champion. But just judging by his last experience, I don't know. But then again, obviously, he was out of the ring for some time. Again, no excuse. I'm not using any excuses, but we shall see. At the end of the day, it's on him, So, but my understanding, Crawford had agreed. Well, the agreement was the rematch will be at 154. So I don't know. I mean, what would you? How would you want it? Obviously, I know you're a Spence fan, so you would want it at 147. You want him to get the belts back, in it. The truth.
Yeah, you know what? The truth will always be the truth, regardless. One fight's not going to define his legacy in the sport. But if I was managing him, I would say, look, he's done over a decade at 147. He has nothing left to prove in the division. Move up to 154. If Crawford doesn't want to move up, there's other fights at 154 that he could take. He can possibly go for a title.
Yeah, but the only thing is, I can't see Crawford, not Crawford, Spence fighting Charlo at 154. I mean, they're brethren in the same camp, the same coach. I mean, again, I can't see it happening. If it was to happen, then who wins?
What about Tim Tszyu? Tim Tszyu's the other champion.
Yeah.
He's the champion, and Tim Tszyu, there's been interviews in the past, and look, don't misquote me, guys, anyway, but he would welcome an opportunity to fight Spence at 154. So, and that was before he was champion. Now that he's champion, that can still be a big fight for both guys.
But he wants Charlo. He wants
Charlo. Charlo don't want him. Charlo don't want him.
He wants Charlo because he wants to unify the division, right? Yeah. But then that's another thing. It's just like, okay, let's just say Spence fights Tim Tszyu and beats Tim Tszyu. Then he's going to have to fight Charlo.
Or Charlo will vacate and move up to 160.
You reckon? Charlo will move up to 160? Because he made it clear after 168, he's getting back to 154.
Yeah, to clean up. I know it's a tricky one, but I think regardless, it's up to Charlo at the end of the day. It's up to him. If he's hungry, there's a big fight for him at 154 with Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu's a hungry champion now, and he wants the rest of the title. So I would love to see that fight. But it looks like Charlo wants Crawford. He wants the big fights. And will Crawford move up to 154 for that fight? Yes. But would he do that for Spence? I don't know.
So Crawford at the moment, he's got all of the belts, right? And he doesn't have to vacate any of the belts.
Oh, no. He just became champion. He's good. Unless he's got a WBO mandatory title challenger. Other than that, I'm not sure.
Interesting. Well, did you watch the event yesterday, the Matchroom event?
Yeah. I watched it. Monte Carlo, Monaco. I heard there was about over 200 people there. Just a little small, over 300. Just a little small arena. It felt like, I don't know if you remember, cuz playing Fight Night, as a child, like when you just fight in those arenas, it felt like one of those. But Cordina, it's a questionable one. I'm not even gonna lie. Edward Vazquez, he put on a tremendous show. He had heart, and you could argue both men could have won the fight, but maybe you would lean towards the champion a little bit more. But Edward Vazquez did put on a good show.
I mean, Joe, he even said that wasn't his best performance, but he got the win. Do you know what I mean? He got the win at the end of the day, and it was a close one. I mean, I can see it from the fans' point of view. It could have potentially been a draw, but they could run it back again. That's if Joe Cordina wants to run it back again. I don't know. They could potentially run it back again, but the main event, it was all right. I'm not going to say it was amazing. It was all right. It was all right.
No, definitely. And look, Tony Ellis, big up. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. He's obviously asking why such a small show.
I don't know. I have no clue.
And Tony, big up, is saying Eddie's always hating on Ben Shalom for having events at Yor Call, which holds more than 300 people. Look, Tony Ellis is 100% right. I'm guessing Monaco, just the scenery, being involved in the whole environment up there is a luxury. So it's probably one of the locations that, Matchroom wanted to hit this year. They've obviously done Mexico, USA, Ireland. So they've done quite a few shows, man. So you've got to give Eddie credit for the global presence he has as well. And should have, Yor Call. Yep, fighting on the event. It's true. It's true.
It'll be interesting, right? Because I saw a tweet from Oscar De La Hoya saying him, Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren, and Bob Arum should all meet up and discuss and make these fights happen. Because what I've realized is that a lot of all the big fights are happening in Saudi. A lot of them are happening in Saudi. So gradually, it's just like all of these fighters that are signed with, the likes of Matchroom, Queensberry, once their contract is done, they could be independent, free agents and fight at Saudis. But one thing I've also realized is that all of these promoters, not one of them, quote me if I'm wrong, has hosted a big event in Africa.
Don King.
Yeah, but I'm talking about now. I'm not Don King. That was like back in the 70s.
He's still active. Don King, you can't rule him out. He's still.
No, I'm not. But the reality is, like, don't get me wrong. Don King, he's done a lot in the industry, but I'm talking about big fights. So we've done the likes of like Ireland, England, America, Italy, France. Where else? Poland, Germany. But we've
Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, Dubai. We've never they've never touched Africa.
No, I agree with you. And look, Tony Ellis is obviously mentioning Salita as well. Salita's doing, a tremendous job with his fighters and with his promotional company as well. And you're right, Cuz. I want to see it.
Reason why I say that is because, like, look, obviously, us here and the States and other places, we've had the opportunity to actually go and see these events live. But imagine like the place of like, Japan, where they've got big fans. It would be nice for them, to host a big show over there as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, we've done one in Japan. I believe they've done one in China. Well, I think it was Floyd done the exhibition in China. But Japan, Africa or even the Caribbean, or even Jamaica. I've never seen this. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, boxing is a big sport, right? It's gradually growing. It's growing. It's on major platforms now. But I think it needs to take place back in Africa.
It's true. No, 100%. I agree with you. Like these countries that you've mentioned it makes sense.
Even India. Have we had?
Words out my mouth. I was about to say India. I was about to say India as well.
India, Pakistan, no, I'm actually serious. I realized it's weird. It's just like, look, going off the top a little bit, but back in the days, WWE or WWF, right? They used to travel. They used to go to all these different places. Why can't boxing do the same?
100%. I agree with you, cuz honestly, I agree with you. I think boxing now is a global sport. So especially if you're world champion, world meaning you're fighting in all different parts of the world. But in boxing sense, America's the Mecca in terms of if you're able to conquer there, then you can cover certain places. But look, I agree with you.
I get where you're coming from. America's the Mecca of boxing. But what I'm trying to say is, I'm talking about all these global big superstars or upcoming superstars. It'll be good to fight in a different soil. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, Africa, India, Jamaica. It'll be good because look, the only problem is it's like these promoters, they don't work with each other. Like you have Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren. I've got a feeling they will work with each other one day. They'll make it happen one day. It'll probably be Fury and AJ if it does happen. It'll probably happen somewhere. They'll work one day, but it's just I just feel that they need to travel. They need it needs. Boxing already has got a platform. It's got a big platform, but I just feel that they need to travel the world. You see how you got wrestling, they travel the world. They fight in different cities, different worlds, etc. Boxing needs the same because boxing's always arcade, especially in the UK. Boxing's either Liverpool, Birmingham, London, Manchester, Cardiff. Don't know, I probably missed out a few, but yeah.
No, you know what, cuz 100% I agree with you. And look, Tony Ellis is saying, to be fair, Mir Khan has held events in India and Pakistan, definitely. And also big up to Prince Patel as well. He's obviously done fights in Ghana as well, Africa. So he's done fights in Africa as well. And Tony Ellis is obviously saying, imagine the likes of Adam Azim fighting back in the motherland, and they will gain so much fans. and they will have a full country behind them. Definitely, look, we need to see these fights. So that's why I'm happy we've got a platform where we could obviously talk about these potential opportunities and hopefully bridge the gap through the work that we do, cuz, man. So I'm just really excited.
I wanted to touch up on something as well.
Mm.
Pay-per-view buys. All right. Okay.
Ooh,
Top
juice.
5 boxing pay-per-view of all time, right?
Mm.
Number 5, 5th place, Evander Holyfield vs Mike Tyson, the rematch, 1.99 million, yeah, pay-per-view buys. 4th place, Mayweather and Canelo, yeah, 2.2 million pay-per-view buys.
Yep.
Mayweather and McGregor. Sorry. 3rd place, Oscar De La Hoya and Mayweather, 2.4 million buys. 2nd place, Mayweather, McGregor, 4.3 million pay-per-view buys. 1st place, Pacquiao and Mayweather, again, 4.6 million pay-per-view buys. Fury and Ngannou, 65k pay-per-view buys. Bro, that's terrible.
What?
That I've just heard it's terrible. That's 65k.
65k. You
So
just
that's-
read out some global events, cuz, and most of them by Mayweather. We got to big him up. And this event only did 65k.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Jake Paul and Tommy Fury done 800 buys. 800,000, sorry, 800,000 buys. Do you know what I'm saying? So my question is there any point of a rematch? I mean, it could probably just about do more than 65k.
You know what? Now that we've seen what Ngannou could do to Fury, I think the numbers will triple now, because everyone will be interested to see whether it was just a one-trick pony situation, or is Ngannou just generally the better fighter between both guys? Because Usyk, I understand where he's coming from. I think he kind of looked at that fight where, oh, this guy's probably playing tricks on me, you know, not fighting properly, you know, mind games. And look, Tony Ellis is saying, is Fury the A side if he fights Usyk with those numbers? Look, he can't be. And look, remember, Usyk carries 3 out of the 4 belts as well. Let's put some respect, man.
The reality is, yeah, commercial wise, Fury is bigger than Usyk. He's well known, like the likes of America, you know, Vegas. Not to say that Usyk isn't, he's known as well, but Fury does more numbers, or he's done more numbers than Usyk. But for that event, for 65k buys, pay-per-view buys, wow. I'm sorry, I'm not. Mate, somebody needs to get fired because listen, that's bad. That is bad.
That's shocking. That's shocking. Look, even Tony Ellis is saying, whoa, that is with all the boxing fans and UFC fans supposedly watching the event. Because it was shocking in terms of the numbers. It was supposed to obviously be the game changer, but maybe.
That's not a game changer. That's just ruined the game. Look, levels, like, look. 65k pay-per-view buyers. Just deep it. So am I right in saying the whole world who watched this event pretty much streamed it or watched it on YouTube or something?
Possibly. That's what I'm trying to say, cuz. I mean, it has changed the game. Look, even Al Heyman's saying it changed the game. It changed the game. But you know what? Both fighters, the event, the spectacle, both fighters, you know, got paid handsomely. Yeah. And I'm really happy that Ngannou got his, you know, he's got his biggest paycheck. And I'm just hoping, you know, it's bigger and better for him.
This is mad, yeah. So let's just say you got Usyk and Fury, right? They're fighting for the undisputed, for all of the belts. And let's just say on the same night you have Wilder and AJ. I guarantee you Wilder and AJ probably do more numbers than Usyk and Fury.
Oh, easily, cuz, easily. Look, even our Havens, Saudi and Ngannou both feel robbed. Look, cuz I think you're right. Look, when you just think about the Bronze Bomber and you think about AJ, Anthony Joshua, You put those two, they're gonna do tremendous numbers, man, because you've got two, boxers that really need this win, and it's two powerhouses as well.
So
So
my question to you: if AJ fought Ngannou, I guarantee you he'll do more pay-per-view buys.
oh yeah, no, definitely.
So
Definitely.
in theory, AJ v Fury will be a big event. Like, I don't want, because Frank Warren is saying AJ is in the back of the queue, Fury and interested. Financially, that fight, they will both generate serious money and they will do serious numbers in the UK.
Yep.
Frank Warren needs to wake up, man. Whew.
You know what? Even if it's not in the UK, cuz in Riyadh, in Saudi Arabia, if they were to do that back then for the fighters,
I hear that. I feel that this event, right, Fury and AJ, it makes sense for it to happen here in the UK. They're both British. Do you know what I mean? It reminds me of when I think it was 1994 when you had Lennox Lewis fighting Frank Bruno. I think I could be wrong. I think it was for the WBC title. I'm not too sure, but yeah, it was here in the UK because they're both British. Do you know what I mean? So AJ, I mean, look, I get it. The money's in Saudi, but come on, man, for the fans, like it will. Sweet Caroline in Wembley Arena, or even in Cardiff, Prince of Wales, like it will be in the words of Derek Chisora, delicious. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
You know what that needs to even be in a stadium, like you said, like Wembley. Like, yeah, I think Wembley, Sweet Caroline, just getting that vibe, that energy. I think that will be a big event. I think that will do better numbers than the Klitschko fight that AJ did with Wembley, innit? I believe that's the highest in terms of capacity, right, for a boxing event.
No. It was actually Fury and Dylan. They done, I think, 94,000 or 96, one or the other.
Wow.
AJ and Klitschko, I think it was 90,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
AJ and Fury potentially 100,000. 100,000.
Yeah, they should. That should be the target, especially if you're a promoter. Eddie Hearn's probably looking at this and thinking, look, this should be, 100. And, make the pay-per-view buys quite reasonable for, everyone here as well. To be honest, we can't complain. Let's be honest, cuz we can't complain. If you look at the States for Spence and Crawford, and you look at our pay-per-views here, the price difference, man, is you gotta just be reasonable. Even for the ones that paid for the fight here in the UK for Spence and Crawford, paid a lot less than what you would pay if you was in the United States. Says enough.
Yeah, suppose so. I'm sorry, cause 65K buyers. Wow. But overall, it was a good event. It was, I'm not gonna lie, the event overall from the undercard was good. My only issue is that I realized majority of these pay-per-views, when it's a big pay-per-view, the undercard is like, for example, when you had a Fury and Dylan, the undercard was shocking. I mean, so I think now, I think every big major pay-per-view event, I think they need to have a decent undercard.
That's why, cuz I'm not even gonna lie, we've got to big up the other Al Heyman from PBC. Remember, there was an event, I think it was earlier on the year, you had Tank fighting in that event, you had Boo Boo Andrade fighting in that event as well, and then there was someone else that was fighting in that card. And it was just, look, you just had bangers, man. And look, we got to see another one of those, man. And I have a feeling that the next PBC event, you got the monster in Benavidez versus Boo Boo Andrade, man. This could be an event. Cuz I'm gassed for that event. I can't lie.
Yeah. Big fight. This one's a 50-50. I mean, a lot of people are saying Benavidez will beat Andrade, but Andrade's good, Don't get twisted. He's a good fighter. But again, that's what I'm saying, 50-50.
Yeah, it's going to be
the winner. I think I think Canelo should go to that fight.
I would love to see him there.
He won't, but I think he should. You know,
El Presidente, he needs to be there. He needs to be there because these two are potential future opponents that, you know, he could fight next, man. You know, he's always looking for the hardest fights, the hardest challenges. And I think, you know, you're looking at two fighters that could, you know, be a problem. So I'm excited for that event. You know, Cameron's obviously going to be fighting Taylor as well. I think El Chapo is going to, you know, do the same thing and get the victory.
Reckon that she's going to retire if she loses this fight?
Who, Katie Taylor? You know what? We can't really call it. It's down to Katie Taylor how hungry she is. Remember, she's moving up in weight class as well, and maybe she might think, you know, I've got a little bit left in the tank. I might, you know, go down back to her other division. You know, she's still champion. So
I still think that it's still unfair because she got beaten right in our hometown, and Cameron wanted to come down and challenge for her titles, but she said no. Of
course,
you know, I just think it's unfair. I think he's been beaten. Cameron's now the A-side. She should dictate, okay, how the fight goes and where it should take place. Do you know what I mean? You know, so look, may the best woman win, but I still think it's unfair. The same way as Canelo when he lost to Bivol said, okay, I'll come down to 168. Canelo said, no, why not? Because he knows. He knows. You know, and I'm hearing that Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn, the fight might be staged here in the UK in January, February. So I've heard. I don't know how true that is, but that would be interesting just to think that, wow, it's actually happening here in UK.
Yeah, Eddie Hearn and obviously Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn, they want to make it happen. They're really motivated to making it happen. So look, if it does happen, it's going to be an event that we're going to watch. But you already know my thoughts, cuz I think you know, Junior's too big, too strong for him, man. But it's going to be a good event. I think regardless, Conor can be the winner. Even if he loses, he's still got 147 to look forward to. And look, Eubank Jr. versus Ben. Look, January 27th. My birthday's on the 8th, man. So that would be a little gift. It would be an event that I would love to go. So just to, you know, experience the vibe. Do you think, if that fight happens, do you think Senior will be there?
Good question. I don't know. Funny enough, I believe it's going to be announced next week. Yeah. It'll be I think Senior has to be there. It will just, yeah, he has to be there. He has to be there because, you know, obviously Nigel Benny's going to be there, so Senior's going to have to be there. If it does happen here in the UK on Jan the 27th, then wow. I think, my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Bomac is allowed to come here.
Yes, come on.
I think he is allowed to come here. You know, yes. He was inside for 5 weeks, but I believe he's allowed to come here because, you know, it's Bomac, bro. He's got money. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Do you know who actually missed Dylan White, the can man?
Yeah.
Anyone can get it. I don't know what's going on with his situation. I mean, I don't know. I mean, regardless of the outcome, let's just say, okay, found not guilty, would he come back to boxing, or is he retired? He's pretty much achieved everything he wanted to achieve, apart from winning the world titles. But
I think the body snatcher's still got a lot left in the tank, man. So once the situation clears, I think he'll be back in the ring. And also be supporting his fighters that he also manages as well. So yeah, I think the train still goes. The body snatcher is still going to be chasing for that big fights, and I'm sure he would want to, you know, fight AJ. He still wants that fight, man. That fight is what drives him, and I think that fight is what will keep him going.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, that's a fight I would like to see, but I can't see AJ giving Dylan the opportunity again. The person who I would want Dylan to fight is Zhang and Baby Miller. those are the two opponents I want to see Dillian Whyte fight. There's no point in him fighting Daniel Dubois or Joe Joyce, because them two, they've gone finished business. But yeah, Zhang and Baby Miller. And maybe a rematch with Fury. I don't know.
Yeah, later down the line, maybe for the title. If you know, it just depends. It depends where the division's at during that time.
Do you know what?
don't know.
Like, once we have a heavyweight undisputed champion, am I right in saying, if let's just say one of them, whoever becomes champion, was to retire, the belts get scattered around, right?
Yeah,
that's amazing. I can't wait for that. I cannot wait for that. That's what I'm saying. I can't wait for that. All right, then, guys. Well, this is the end of the show. Just remember to like, share, and subscribe. We're back here again on Wednesday at 7:30. We've got Aisha on Monday, I believe.
Yep.
RnR on Thursdays. I think I'm missing somebody out. I'm not too sure. But yeah, on that note, peace and love.
It's another bang. All the Muslim calls now, whichever get up.